to Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustion. As we head into 2022, the Splash Live is your home for live and exclusive Greater West Bloomfield news and interviews. We're here to bring you some of the featured stories and local events and businesses to showcase our great community. The Splash Live is now daily from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99 Monday through Friday, as well as on My Michigan TV. We are also live on CivicCenterTV.com under the live section of your web browser and mobile device. Join us as we take a look at what is happening around our Greater West Bloomfield community. We're going to start out first with the Person of the Week QR code. Every week we highlight someone from our Greater West Bloomfield community that is making an impact. We will be taking submissions now through our Person of the Week QR code on the screen. To submit an entry, you can fill out the QR code on the screen and fill out the short Google form with the person's name, reason they should be recognized for the Person of the Week, and some contact information for them. These nominations can be anyone from an educator, student, local business, or organization that you think deserves to be recognized as our Person of the Week. We're now going to dive into our local community events happening in our Greater West Bloomfield community. The first one is the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is offering their new virtual 2022 events. These are fun events for all ages that you can register now on the West Bloomfield Township Public Library website. They have a variety of interactive events for all ages. Some of those events happening this week are, yesterday they had their film discussion series on the film Selma, and on Thursday and Friday this week they have a book discussion on Bagman by Rachel Maddow. They're also holding a virtual how-to on Wednesday for ebooks and audiobooks. These will show you how to access their ebooks and audiobooks through the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. So all of these events are now open for registration on their West Bloomfield Township Public Library website. They also have some fun events heading into the rest of the month and throughout the year. These virtual events are perfect if you're looking away to stay educated and get involved with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library this year. Our next event is the Sylvan Lake Salon. The Sylvan Lake Salon Committee is hosting another salon in January. These salons work to educate the community and create local dialogue about social issues and things happening in our community. Their fourth salon will be held on January 18th at Board and Brush Studio. They have a 6:15 social and a 7 p.m. presentation from attorney Gabby Silber, who works with the University of Michigan Innocence Clinic. She will be speaking at the salon about her work with the innocence community and the wrongfully convicted. She'll also be exploring stories of the accused and how they are charged and convicted. Capacity is limited to 30, so you can reserve your $5 seat through contacting Kelly Krause on the Sylvan Lake Salon Committee. All proceeds will be added to the Sylvan Summer 2022 Concert Fund. Our next and final event is the Sylvan Lake Game Night event. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with a friend, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a great way to socialize safely with your neighbors and friends. Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not a Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game nights will start at 5:30 p.m. and will go to about 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and you're welcome to bring any family and friends to get together and play some games at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. You can bring any games that you would like to play. There will also be games provided as well, as this is a great way to get together with your neighbors and community members this winter. If you have an event that you would like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV 15 and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're now going to visit the Orchard Lake Museum and talk to Gina Gregory. She's the president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society about the history of curling in Orchard Lake. She also walked us through the open house this past Sunday and explained to us how curling started in the United States on Orchard Lake, and give us an insight into a West Bloomfield resident who led the 1932 Olympic curling team. So let's go check it out. Did you know that curling in the United States started on Orchard Lake after being brought here by Scottish immigrants? West Bloomfield resident George Lawton led the United States curling team to the 1932 Olympics. We visited the Orchard Lake Museum to talk with Gina Gregory about curling history and George Lawton's legacy in Orchard Lake.
Hi, I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, and today we're going to take a look at our items that we have about curling in our museum. always, as of 2021, we have a new exhibit about sports and recreation in West Bloomfield. One of the things we included was our local Olympians. For curling, that first premiered here in the United States on Orchard Lake in the winter of 1831, we thought that was significant. But also interesting, in 1932, one of our members, George Lawton, a resident of West Bloomfield, headed the Olympic team for curling, which was a demonstration sport that year. So we've learned that this D signifies demonstration. So he could have worn that on a sweater that was kind of stylish at that time. We also have a curling broom that's pretty unusual looking. Now when I see them, all I see are the usual corn broom looking brooms, although there are modern brooms as well. So that's what we have out all the time, along with a curling stone that he donated to the city of Orchard Lake Village. It was presented by the Detroit Curling Club in 1975. And then we have another one in the basement. So you can come in here and lift it up. It's very heavy, but you can give it a try. So that's here all the time.
The open house also displayed a few artifacts that were exclusive to the curling theme. One of these items was a soup tureen that was used to serve oyster stew as a tradition while they curled. They had numerous articles and fact pages about curling, as well as a sweatshirt from the Detroit Curling Club.
And in the 70s, 1970s, the Detroit Curling Club was housed in the old Centaur Farms ice arena. It had many transitions. After that, it was where whirly ball was played. So it's had a varied history. But the curling was there, and when it did, it went from a smaller membership of about 150 up to 300 people.
For more information on the history of curling in Orchard Lake, you can contact the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Reporting for the Splash Live, I'm Maddie Mustion. Thank you so much to Gina Gregory and the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, as well as the Orchard Lake Museum, for letting us in and get some insight into curling here in Orchard Lake, where it started here in West Bloomfield. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we will be joined by Shane Pliska. He is the president of Planterra, to talk about his company and work with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce and the Business Innovation Generator, and how he is helping businesses in the new year. So don't go anywhere after. We will be talking with Shane Pliska.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustion. Today I am joined by Shane Pliska. He is the president of the leading interior landscaping firm Planterra here in West Bloomfield. Planterra provides corporate workspaces, hospitals, and hotels with live plants and other culture services locally and nationally. They're also known for their contemporary plant displays, cutting-edge planter designs, living walls, and large-scale installations. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Shane.
Thank you for having me, and good morning.
Good morning to you too. Shane, can you first start off with explaining to us what Planterra is and what your role as the president of Planterra entails here?
Sure. Well, many or most people in the community now probably know us as a wedding venue, where our conservatory on Drake Road is a popular destination for events on the weekends. But some of you may not know that we're very much a plant company too. So as the leader of the organization, I lead our event company as well as our plant company. And our plant company helps businesses locally and nationally by providing lush, beautiful plants for their workplaces or public places too. So this includes hospitals and universities and office parks and shopping centers.
And Shane, personally for you, you also are very active with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. You are one of the speakers. You hold virtual events for the Business Innovation Generator. You have one tomorrow at 8:30 via Zoom. These events with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce are great for helping businesses stay on top of their marketing and helping out with some new ideas during the new year. Can you talk a little bit about what these virtual sessions look like and what you bring to the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I'd say that the West Bloomfield Chamber has been producing a really wonderful series of free business seminars offered via Zoom. The speakers have been really interesting, a wide range of topics. Tomorrow, I will be covering changes that are occurring in the commercial real estate world with co-working as well as flex space. It is the challenge that is coming up as COVID has reimagined how people have workspaces now. It is a peek into what the future might hold. So I'm hopeful that people will find it quite insightful. We put a lot of research into it, and I'm honored to be part of the speaking circuit this year for the West Bloomfield Chamber. I've been a board member for almost a decade now, actually.
And Shane, with the insight that you bring to the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, how do you think that research and strategy that you have bringing your insight into the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce to those businesses, how do you think it impacts you as the president of Planterra and the way that you do business with Planterra?
Well, we're a very community-minded organization, so a stronger community results in a stronger company for us. So anything that we can do to help support our community, particularly our business community locally here, is absolutely a win-win. And the West Bloomfield Chamber has been such a wonderful organization to be helping and promoting, as well as providing a sense of community for local businesses here in our beautiful township.
And Shane, with these events being local and virtual through the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, you talked a little bit about how the businesses are changing, especially throughout the ongoing pandemic. Have you seen personally with your business how the pandemic has impacted Planterra, or if you've talked to other business owners in the community about how COVID has impacted their business model?
Yes, it's been huge. I think for most businesses, for us, the event part of our business was in fact shut down for a large portion of 2020, and it's also shown how we've had to change a lot on the plant side of our business too. So I'd say that we're not going to fully know what the shakeup's going to be for a little while further, but it definitely changes the way that we think about investment. It changes on how we deliver products to our customers, and it also changes our assumptions as to what the future might be. This next year, 2023, will be our 50th year in business, and so I'm proud to say that we have really almost every single 10 years we have reinvented the company, and we continue to do so. So I'm particularly proud of that resilience.
And as we wrap up the interview here, Shane, do you have anything else that you would like to share with our viewers, either about Planterra and your business or about those events that you are hosting through the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce?
I would encourage all the viewers to support their local businesses. Shop down the Orchard Lake corridor, and also write reviews when you are pleased, because that's how we make decisions these days. Every Google review is very helpful to your small business owners.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Shane.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, I was joined by President of Planterra, Shane Pliska. He is also hosting those virtual events through the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. If you want to register for those and attend the one tomorrow at 8:30, you can go to the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce website to get more information. As 2022 begins, we asked our staff here at Civic Center TV and the staff at West Bloomfield Town Hall to reflect on 2021 and describe their year in one word, a difficult task to describe an entire year into one word, but I think they did a great job. We're now going to check in with Splash reporter Calvin Brown to see how everybody described 2021.
I've got another question. If you could describe 2021 in one word, what would it be? Let me think of a word. Mine would be long. I really wish it ended sooner. But what about you guys?
Chaotic. It's just a weird year across the board. Just a little bit of everything that could be weird, that could go wrong, kind of did. I think across the board for everyone, once again.
2021 was depressing. It was hard for me personally because I had to put my dog to sleep at the very end of last year, so I'm still kind of getting used to not having her at my side. But yeah, just depressing because I was hoping COVID would be further gone, and it's still hanging in there, and new variants and new variants and new variants, so yeah.
I think chaotic would be a good word, but I don't mean that in a negative way. There was just a lot of personal change that happened in my life. And it was a little scary at times, but at the same time, now that it's all over with, it's probably one of the best years I've ever had. It turned out to be a really good thing. So,
my one word to describe 2021 would be new, because I did a lot of new things that scared me and created new paths for me to head into 2022.
Adaptive. I've had to learn how to adapt to a lot of different situations and scenarios.
I would say a word to describe 2021. I would say inspiring, because we got through a tough spot that we might still be in, and we're figuring our way out of it, and that's pretty inspiring.
Unpunctual, because I was late to almost everything.
Always with the great answers, West Bloomfield. Thank you so much. I love asking you guys crazy, wacky, and fun questions. But I'll have to save it for next time on Testing the Waters. Woo!
Thank you to all of our staff here at Civic Center TV, as well as the staff at the West Bloomfield Town Hall, for giving us their wrap-up reflections on 2021. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we will talk with Safaa Elmessiri, founder of Core Consulting and Coaching LLC, a certified addiction recovery coach as well. She's going to talk to me about her business and how they are helping local residents overcome their own battles and lead them in the right direction through coaching. So don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll talk with Safaa.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustion. Today for a featured interview, I'm joined by Safaa Elmessiri. She is a founder and coach of Core Coaching and Consulting. She works through her company assisting those who struggle with alcohol, substance misuse, and just day-to-day challenges. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Safaa.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's great to have you on. So could you first explain Core Coaching and Consulting and maybe how the business model works in your position there as the founder of Core Coaching and Consulting?
Sure. So it started about 5 years ago when I started as a recovery coach, and I recently moved to Oakland County, and so I kind of wanted to start my own company. So that was founded in August of 2020. And I have a therapist who works with me who I refer to our clients, and we kind of work just hand in hand.
And Safaa, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Core Coaching and Consulting, and maybe a little bit of your story of how you got involved and decided to start your own business there?
Okay, good question. So I, myself, being a recovery coach, I struggled with some things along the way. And I just felt like I wanted to give back to the community, and I wanted to be able to help as many people who were struggling with substance use disorder. So that was my inspiration to give back to my community.
And so, continue.
So shortly after Core Coaching was founded, I recently joined Families Against Narcotics. So I'm working with them full time as a program coordinator. We have many different programs that are so amazing that, help with substance use disorder. We actually just received funding from United Way in Oakland County. And we're very grateful for that because we are able to assist those who are struggling. People who would like to get a treatment, into a detox, that gives us a chance to be able to get them in. We also have a Hope Not Handcuffs program to where we're participating with different police departments. And a struggling individual can walk into a police department and say, I need help. I'm struggling, I need to get into detox. So they would call us and send out an angel. So the angel would do the assessment. They would send them off to a treatment. So we have many, like I said, we have many different programs. And if you're interested, or if anyone's interested in learning more about these programs, they can go to www.familiesagainstnarcotics.org and, find out about all the amazing things that we offer.
And Safaa, we've talked here on The Splash Live before about how the pandemic has affected those struggling with alcohol misuse and narcotics. How have you seen through Core Coaching, Consulting, and Family Against Narcotics that the pandemic has affected those individuals, maybe that were before struggling with alcohol misuse and narcotic abuse throughout the pandemic?
So we actually have data. So we have a program, it's called the Comeback Quick Response Team with Families Against Narcotics, and we get the data with all the overdoses that happen. So I'm working with the Troy Police Department with the Quick Response Team, and the amount of overdoses has increased drastically, just over the time since COVID started. But we have been able to go in and assist these people. So the Comeback Quick Response Team, it consists of a police officer, a peer recovery coach, and a family recovery coach. So any ODs that have happened in the last week or two, we go visit their homes. We offer assistance. We say, hey, we're here to help you. Their first initial reaction is, am I in trouble? Why is there an officer at my door? But that's not why we're there. The officer lets them know, hey, we're here to help you. We have all the resources that you need to get sober and stay sober. So that's, we're trying to approach this in every different way.
And Safaa, with the the coaching and consulting that you do with those struggling with alcohol misuse and narcotics abuse. What advice do you give to someone that maybe reaches out to you and wants to begin their sobriety and get some help to get back on track? If you have any tips, or maybe walk us through what the first intake and conversation you have with an individual is.
So the first thing I would say to them is, I am so proud of you for making that first step. It really takes a lot from a person who is struggling to come forward and say, I have a problem, I need help. Because it's many years of substance use, disorder or alcoholism. So, that's the first thing to acknowledge is, good for you. Then we kind of just assess the situation. If they're using, let's say, alcohol or substances on a daily basis and they need a detox, so that would be their assessment, was to send them off to a detox. If it's kind of like once in a while thing, but they know they have a problem, then the assessment would be to do an outpatient. So outpatient means just sending them to a therapist, sending them to maybe a psychiatrist, just referring them out to an outpatient service, not necessarily an inpatient.
And Safaa, as we wrap up the interview here, is there anything else you wanted to share with us about Core Coaching Consulting or some of those other businesses that you're involved with Families Against Narcotics, or anything else that you want to share while we wrap up?
So, I just wanted to let everyone know that, there is hope. There's help out there. It takes just the first step, the first phone call to make, in order to get help. And there's nothing wrong with reaching out. Everyone has their own, thing that they would like to, deal with. And for that, we are here for you. You can personally reach me at Safaa at familiesagainstnarcotics.org, or my cell phone number is 248-765-4566. We also have a hope line to where you can call any time of the day and someone will answer that phone and assist you. If you have any questions about anything, if you have a problem, if you have a problem with a family member, if you have a question about, how can I get my loved one into treatment, we have answers to all those questions. So the Hope Line number is 833-202-4673. And we have a lot more exciting things to come for Oakland County that is in the making.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Safaa.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too. Once again, I was joined by Safaa Elmessiri. She is the founder of Core Coaching and Consulting, making sure that those that are struggling with alcohol misuse and narcotic abuse are getting help and led in the right direction. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you to Safaa Elmessiri and Shane Pliska, the president of Planterra, for joining us this morning. A special thanks to our Zoom producer, Jared Clark, for coordinating the Zoom and making sure all of our guests joined us, as well as Calvin Brown, our board operator, making the show possible each and every morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning as we explored all the people and events going on in our greater West Bloomfield community. You can make sure to watch any interviews and stories you missed by visiting civiccentertv.com to watch them online under the Splash Live tab on the website. For all of our friends in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Pico Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Mustion. Thank you for watching the Splash Live.